All right, Benjamin St. Juste, after the first day of training camp, first of all, before we get to camp, how was your summer? I know you had a bit of a whirlwind tour. Went on some vacation, became a dad. So pretty nice off-season?
It was a great off-season. Obviously, main highlight of that is becoming a dad. Now I got a new fan that comes see me play this season. A lot more motivation. And it feels great to live for something bigger than just myself, and have someone looking up to me consistently. So it's going to be a great season.
I actually talked about this with Zach yesterday, about how when he became a dad, and obviously for him it was later in his career, how it changed who he was and kind of that idea of purpose. Like, have you already noticed that, even though your child is so young and you're still so young in your career?
I feel like I noticed it instantly as soon as she came out the womb. Honestly, it was like, wow, I created this. It was kind of like a wave of responsibility, but at the same time a wave of great energy, like I said, to live something bigger than myself. Now every day, it doesn't matter if I feel good, I feel bad, I'm motivated, I'm not motivated, or whatever. I have somebody that depends on me. I have a family, and all those values and the discipline translate to the football field. When I come out here, it's not just for me, it's for the team, it's for my family. And I think that's what makes great players even better players. It's when they start playing for something bigger than just themselves.
Benjamin St. Juste with us here on the Hoffman Show. Obviously, this knew everything, staff-wise, football-wise. What has been the biggest difference that you've seen, or some of the most, I'm not going to say biggest, what's the most important difference you've seen in how you guys went about the spring and now you're starting camp compared to the previous couple years?
How we compete for everything, honestly. It's crazy. The first week that Coach Quinn came here, it was all about competing. It was competing in the weight room, competing in drills, competing in the class, in the mean room. Who can learn the fastest? Who knows all the plays already? That was just one weekend. So when we go out to the field, there's no hierarchy of who should go out there and politics of this player should play. Not everybody's going to compete. Everybody's going to get a fair chance, and the best players are going to play. And I think that's what makes great teams, is because they give everybody a chance to go out there and show how much you want to make this team, how much you want to impact this team. It's not we're going to put this player here just because of this, that, and the third. Everybody's competing for a spot, and I love it. It pushed me to be a better player, and that's what I'm here for.
So when we talk about you as a player, I think everyone knows you have the great size, you have great length, you have all these things that are prototypical for a great corner. The ball production's been the big question. Joe Whitt Jr., DQ, they're known for getting ball production out of their DBs. What are some of the things that you've learned that you think can help you in that area and solidify your spot as the starting corner on this team?
Honestly, it's just being comfortable in the concept and the plays that he puts out there. He makes us feel very comfortable on what we can attack, what we don't need to. We can't cover everything. I think that's the main thing that he brought to the table. It's you can't cover everything, but we're going to give you the best plays, the best concept to go out there and eat, So if I tell you to jump this post because that's what he's going to throw when we play this coverage, jump the post, don't jump the out, So he makes it real simple that there's going to be some flaws in the coverages, and that's okay. But the plays where you should be making a play, go out there and be comfortable and make it, It's not a thing of cover this route and cover this route, and now we end up playing scared and not making any plays. He's going to give you the liberty of go out there and make this play because that's how I designed it.
It's something we heard last year is that there was a lot of thinking going on the back end, and maybe that caused some of the confusion, some of the busts, et cetera. Is that something you knew at the time and didn't quite have the tools to equip, that when Joe gets in here and you're oh, that's what it is? Did you know it last year, or when he started teaching that way and when the group that's here started teaching that way, was it clarifying in some ways of kind of what needed to change to get better production?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, I feel like I didn't have enough experience in this league to kind of know that that's what was happening. I couldn't understand why I was not feeling as comfortable to make certain plays. And, I'm just the type player that coach tells me to do something, I do it. I don't have the 6-7 years of experience of maybe some other players that realize maybe I'm going to just play it this way because this doesn't make any sense. And I feel towards the end of the year, I kind of realized that there was a lot of plays that were missed, that were left behind because of a lot of confusion. Times where I would be hey, wait, where's my safety, or where's this, and or plays that were just not explained and stuff like that. And I feel they recognized that off the rip. They was look, we're going to make it real simple. When I tell you to do this and this play, that's what you're going to do. And if it mess up and then the guy catches the ball, and that's on me. But as a player, you feel comfortable to go out there and make the plays that need to be made, and your coach is going to say, if he catches, let's say, this out route right here, that's on me. But, last year we kind of had to, figure out that by ourselves. Oh, okay, he called this. Was that the right play? Was that not? Now we have it's kind of straight to the point. That's black and white. That's how he told us to play it.
Benjamin St. Juste with us here on the Hoffman Show. Any of the vets that have really come in, whether it's Chin, obviously Bobby Wagner is the name that comes up a lot, but how have some of the newer faces, newer voices that do have that experience helped you guys? Because the back end's still fairly young, but you have new guys all around. I know there's a lot of communication, there's a lot of team building stuff where there's a lot of cross-pollination and position groups. Maybe even it's an offensive guy like a Zach Ertz that comes in, tells you something. Who are some of the vets that have really helped you throughout the spring and as you get started here in the fall?
For me, honestly, all the players that you mentioned are definitely pouring a lot into the team with their knowledge and information that they acquired throughout their career. But for me, it's really the coaches, Coach Simmons, Coach Tommy Donatel, Coach Joe Whitt. Those coaches, they've coached at the highest level with the highest players, some gold jackets, a lot of gold jackets in their resume. So that shows. That's where I'm all ears. I'm listening, and they know what's works best for me. Might not work best for maybe Emmanuel. Might not work as best for Michael Davis or any other corner. They have a specific plan on how they want you to play because they saw so many different DBs, in their career. So, and that's what I love. Someone that can cater a plan to me to work on my weaknesses and also work off my strengths. And so I learned a lot from my coaches.
All right, we started with family. I want to end with family because I'm disappearing in the back end of camp because I'm going to watch in Paris at the Olympics. Your sister-in-law, Anna Hall, is going to compete in the heptathlon. What's it been like to watch her journey coming back from injury, the way she's fought, and having that other professional athlete in the family to make? I don't know if heptathlon and football are very, very different, but some of the things she's training, her explosiveness, all that kind of stuff. I'm sure there's times you get to exchange notes, but just to watch the grit that she showed to come back, what's it been like for you to have a front row seat to that?
Honestly, every time I go see her, it just motivates me. I just get hit with a wave of oh man, I'm finna go train. I'm about to go kill it this year. Just because watch, it's like you said, she's a iron woman. She plays. She kind of like a Swiss Army knife, like a tight end. We would say here, she do everything, run, jump, throw, you name it. That's probably the hardest events that you can do, and. Man, she just got that dog in her, honestly. Literally, she got a dog in her, to go out there and self-motivate herself. I always tell people, track and field is a man, woman, and arena type sport. You can't look to your left and your right to trying to get some help. It's you versus you. And for her to be so young, last time she went to Olympic trials at 17 and being a fan favorite and breaking her ankle and having to wait another 4 years and still, staying on top of her game, winning bronze for the U.S., winning silver last year. And now this year, go out there and win gold. So for me, it's just extra motivation. Someone at the top of their game doing their thing. I'm oh man, I'm trying to just meet you up there. Trying to meet you at the top of the game. Yeah, for sure.
Last thing, of the events that she competes in, which one would you have the best chance competing against her in, and which one would be the absolute worst for you?
Best one, I would probably say maybe a 200. Anything.
I feel like one of the sprints is the obvious right answer.
Maybe with a little bit of technique, a high jump, I could be decent. But a 200, anything over 200, she's whooping my butt. But I would say the 200. But honestly, I'm just saying that because you asked me, she would whoop me at every event.
Humility is very important. Benjamin St. Juste, appreciate you, sir. Thank you.
This is the Hoffman Show on the Team 980 and the Odyssey app.